All right, so wrap off the rest of the class talking about our consultation, right? MBA marketing agency, which in essence you're kind of approaching these organizations as, right? So, maybe in your introduction, you could say, hey, I'm doing a project for a class, but you're like, hey, I'm here to give advice about how to develop target markets, right? We're here pro bono, we're doing the work for free, but it's our job to help develop target markets, right? Is this organization targeting the right people? Services about business markets. You may pick an organization that's actually B2B, not B2C, right? You could pick a manufacturing corporation or some other organization that sells products to other businesses. Kind of like think of manufacturing facilities that sell to hospitals, x-ray machines. Right? They don't sell to you and I, they sell to facilities that they need, right? High involvement purchases. Suggestions on how to project a strong company image and theme, right? Say you do your research, some of you may even visit these locations, and you're like, hey, this is a weak presence. Like, I don't feel a strong image or presence anywhere, online or in person. Company logo and slogans. You're like, hey, the logo is weak, it doesn't attract, right? It's the wrong color, the wrong font. It doesn't give me a sense of feeling about who you are and what you sell. Preparation of advertisements and planning and purchasing media time and space. That could be a consideration. All right, some of the organizations, you're like, hey, you know what? Forget the billboards. You need to purchase slot times on radio, maybe it could be local. It could be university radio stations if it is something, say, in Oak Park or the Forest. It could be some other form of media, television, right? Social media, et cetera, et cetera. All right, and then we have external advertising agencies. So some advertising agencies are boutique, some are full service. Boutiques focus on one particular thing. Full service focus on a range of services, right? So we got advertising agencies, media service companies, direct marketing, consumer and trade promotions, digital services, social media, mobile marketing, and public relations agencies, right? So some agencies say, hey, we're just working with PR, we work on building a strong reputation and image. Some other services say, hey, we just focus specifically on digital and social media. Others will say trade promotion specialists. Right? Once again, if you're selling something that's maybe B2B, you're working within trade, or direct marketing. Right, sending out emails and physical mail. All right, budget allocations, right? In-house versus ad agencies. So they have a 75-15-10 rule. 75% of your budget should go for media buys, television, radio, social media, right? 15% for creative work, right? The agency needs to create creative briefs, and 10% for the ad production, to actually create the ad itself. Crowdsourcing, right? You say, hey, this is a recent alternative to choosing an ad agency. It involves seeking ideas from the public and even videos of ad productions. Two companies that have successfully used crowdsourcing have been Harley-Davidson and Doritos. Right? Unilever has used it for snacks. Doritos has used it in Super Bowl. While it appears the costs would be much lower, they are not. Actually, crowdsourcing involves a contest and a website often. Sometimes be very expensive. Right? Overall costs are not low. Some advantages, hey, you get people involved, the consumers is giving you feedback. It's probably great research to have, right? And it generates a lot of buzz. You get people talking about the thing, transferring the information, so you kind of create this buzz around the product or service. And then lastly, because we're not going to be able to cover the whole chapter, I kind of came up with some psychology tricks in psychology, which a lot of you are probably familiar with. Right, let's see. So, you're like, hey, what are some of the tactics that marketers use in order to, remember we talked about, we have an emotive sort of connotation when it comes to most things we buy. Right? You may think that most things that you purchase was your own logical, reasonable action of some sort, but behind that, deeper than that, it's deeply rooted in some sort of biases and persuasion. Right, so one of the tactics, and you can even use this on some of the businesses that you're going to work with. Right, you say scarcity. Scarcity. Immediately, only two left. You're like, is it really only two of them left? Doesn't matter if it's really only two left. Right, so to create a sense of scarcity, people find it urgent to buy it. Now it's more rare. Right, and we say rarity is something that people want. It makes them feel unique. Right? So to create a sense of urgency, you say, hey, a good marketing tactic is to say, buy now, only two left, only one left, last one, right? Last chance. Can you think of any companies that you've seen recently that does this? Create scarcity. Buy now, only two left. Or a company that does this often. Yes.
Amazon used to do that. They would like put that into like a 2 month stock.
Yeah, but we don't know if that's true. It's not the point. We don't know if it's true. It's only two left, it could be 100 left. Right? But we're like, well, it works. What are we gonna say?
I know Dick's does that, like, if you go like order shoes or something, it'll say like two left or something like that. You try to buy it.
Yeah.
They sell it fast.
Yeah, their sporting goods does that all the time. So you're like, hey, maybe the companies I work for, you're like, hey, are they using scarcity effect? Think about it. Analyze it. Are they using a sense of urgency? All right, the second one, a huge one, social proof, right? Social proof. You go on Netflix, you look at the reviews. So you basically say, hey, I trust other people's opinion. And other people's opinion will influence my opinion. You go on Yelp to look at the restaurant reviews, you decide based on what other people tell you. Testimonial. So it shows that other people matter to us. Right? That we place trust in how other people have responded to this product or service. Things like bestseller. You're like, bestseller of what? Doesn't matter. You might not even put bestseller in anything, whether it was New York Times or not. But you could put in quotations bestseller, right? And you're like, well, bestseller, that means other people thought this was great. They thought it was great. I thought it was great too. Makes you feel safe, right? So we love that feeling of safety. Authority bias. Have you seen this one before? Authority bias, using doctors in the ad. Right? A long time ago, when the government cracked down on nicotine and its addictive properties, right, and cigarettes causing cancer, we think the cigarette companies have to find out some unique strategies on this. How do people still buy cigarettes, even though they know it's going to cause cancer? So what they would do is put doctors in the advertisements, smoking cigarettes and stuff. Right? So subconsciously you're thinking, well, if the doctor, he's an authority, he or she is an authority, is smoking cigarettes, it can't be as bad as they say. Right? So authority bias, using experts, doctors, or influencers to boost trust and credibility. Any products you can think of or services with this? Any major influencers that you observe that they use to try to persuade? I'm sure you can think of many. Yes.
Like toothpaste, they'll always say it's like recommended by
Dentists, right? Like dentists recommended. You're like, which dentist? Right? Oh, the dentist from this organization. You're like, I've never heard of it. It could be made up. Think about that. It could be made up, or you're like, hey, we're going to create an organization. As a company, let's create an organization. How many people need to be in it? 5. We'll send out some emails and get the dentist to say, yes, I want to be part of it. It's free. Right? right? And then you say, now we can put out the ad, it's legit. We got 5 dentists, it says, this is wonderful toothpaste, right? And now we can market it on the product itself, right? Dentist recommended, like which dentist? Well, the 5 people part of this organization. All right, so these are the tricks. So think about that. So what your corporation said you're gonna be working on, think like, what are they using? Because we say you have to create a need. You create a desire. Most of our desires, you think like, oh, it's just me, I desire. Like, not really. There's other associations going on that made you crave that thing at that particular moment. You just didn't recognize it. Right? So these are a play on psychology. All right, anchoring effect. Showing a higher original price makes the discounted price feel like a bargain. Any examples for this? Joe?
Yeah, like during the holidays, like everything is marked up, so like everything can go on sale and it looks more appealing.
Yeah, absolutely. You're like, hey, you know what? Let's sell it. The sale price might be the real price that we want to sell it at in the first place, right? The markup price that we put a little scratch out red line through is a fake price, right? So ultimately, we're still getting what we wanted for this product, with the Christmas trees or whatever the case may be during holidays. We just need you to have a sense that you saved 20% off. As long as you feel like you saved 20% once you leave, you feel good about yourself, right? Even though it's not real. It's not real. Decoy effect, adding a third. So think about this, if you have 2 competing products and now you're struggling, like, how do I get people to buy more of these 2 products? Add a third cheap product. Add a third useless product. Doesn't matter. But what it does, it induces the customer to make a choice quicker about the product. Right? So if they're struggling between 2, add a third. Now they're like, oh, you know what? Nah, this is cheap, so maybe I'll just go with my first thought. Too many choices, right? You create too many choices, and now maybe the person goes with their first thought. So you kind of anchor things by adding a decoy. All right, so we say it's a play on emotions, right? Most of these purchases we've made are emotional purchases. Fear of missing out, right? So we say, hey, the emotional trigger, with that urgency, sales ends tonight, or countdown timers on drive urgency. So think about it. I don't know if any of the companies you're working with may have an online shop or something of the sort, but what you could tell them is like, hey, how about you put a little clock, a little ticker, that shows the amount of time you have before this price goes back right? Right? Like, wouldn't that create a sense of urgency to make people think, oh, we got 5 more minutes, right? 5 more minutes before this goes back, right? Once again, make up, right? But the point is, you are creating a way for people to act, a need, a desire for people to act, right? Sales ends tonight or countdown timers, drivers, belonging and identity, which is most of us with these brands, right? Nike and Apple. Right? It's not a surprise that most of us love Nike, most of us love Apple. Right? It's an identity thing. You feel good about that Nike item. You feel like it's part of your lifestyle, and that Apple, you feel real good about yourself. You feel that you're intelligent, clever, you make great decisions, you get style, you get swag. You feel great about it. So most importantly, it's an emotional dimension, right? When you're thinking of like, hey, I have an identity. My identity is Apple, Nike, whatever. And you may compare yourself to those. You may look down on other people who don't buy those. Like, oh, you wear that? Oh, you got an Android? No hating on Android. All right, so belonging, right? We love to belong, we love to be part of a group. It creates conversations, it makes us be part of a membership within the group, right? And we love that sense of membership. Loss aversion. People hate losing more than they like gaining. So you're like, hey, people hate losing more than they like gaining. So, free trials, but don't lose your access. Framing are effective, right? Don't lose your access. You're like, hey, I don't like losing, right? Just find simple remarks or simple quotes. Reciprocity. Free samples or helpful content create a feeling of obligation to give back. Buy, subscribe, and share, right? This feeling of obligation to give back. Buy, subscribe, and share. We love to share. Right? That share features feel like we're doing something. Hence why we share a lot of our videos with our friends. All right, and some sales and design traits. All right, so once again, with these companies, you're like, hey, what's the pricing mechanism they use? Right? Sometimes companies have weird pricing, like $3.33. Where's your 33 cents? Right? But you used to the little 99-cent trick, right? Because it's less than the higher dollar amount, right? You didn't round up off of it. And so people feel like, hey, it's cheap. It's still within the $9.99 bracket. It's still above $9, not $10, right? So that's a left digit bias. Color psychology. Remember we say color psychology is important. Every color has meaning to us. It creates a sensation inside of us. So red is urgency. So when you see red, you see urgency and energy, things of that nature. Right? Ferrari red, Coca-Cola, things like that. Blue is trust, right? That's why usually Microsoft Windows comes to blue. Not only does it allow you to look at your screen for a longer time with that blue color, but it builds a sense of, hey, you're using this device and then it trusts everything that happens with it. Green, right? Eco-friendly or fresh. Black usually means luxury. Right? Black is sleek, it means luxury. All right, other things. Now, if they are major sales corporations, meaning that they use salespeople involved, I'm not sure whether those strike me. You can say, hey, the foot in the door technique. Get people to say yes to something small, and they may say yes to something big. The first challenge is to say, so you say, how do you get someone to say something, to accept something small as a salesperson? You offer them something like free sign up. Sign up for free. No money involved. Just need your information. After you've gotten that information, you can start sending them things. Right? You got your foot in the door. You've got the contact information. Endowed progress effect. So think about this with the app we use now. Who uses McDonald's app? McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, you want your rewards, your points, right? All these sorts of things. You're like, hey, they have a bar, a progress bar. Oh, you get 1,200, so you get 1,500 for cheese. Right? $2.50, I think, for a free donut at Dunkin' Donuts or something, right? But you're watching it constantly. In your mind, you keep it, and you go, oh yeah, I think if I buy another thing, I can get something else for free, right? And that kind of induces you to stop there next time, because you know that you're going to get a reward for going there as opposed to somewhere else, where we don't have this sort of reward system. All right, so endow progress, motivate completion. Like, you got to complete the task. A lot of times we see this even on think of surveys. Something long that you like, you absolutely hate filling out this type of information, and they're going to put a progress bar at the top to motivate you to say, all right, 60% now, it's not that bad, 80%, 100%, I'm finally complete. And then priming, right? We say subtle cues and ads or environments that shape how people kind of feel, respond. You're like, well, you know what? You can create a sense of calm in the background of an ad. It could be nature. You could create a sense of luxury, right? You could put Monaco, the yachts, and the Mediterranean Sea. You can put whatever you want to in the background while showing the physical product up front. Right, so you're like, hey, my fixed attention's on the product, but, ooh, look at that background. Now I'm associated in my mind what they really wanted me to associate with in the first place. This product is so luxury that it is in Monaco on the Mediterranean Sea with the yachts and whatever. Right? So that's priming. You're like attaching environments to make a statement or link your mind to think about a certain way about a product. Just throwing that in the back. Right, we will oftentimes see this with some of your social media influencers. Like you look at some of their backgrounds and you just think like, oh yeah, they're just at their random hotel or at their house. That looks a little junky, and what is to get these celebrities to seem normal. That background was actually staged by their team. How do I make you appear normal to everybody so that all the people think that they're just like you and you're just like them. You're just so down to earth. You're like everyone else. Stage. Completely staged. Once that scene is over, you're going back to their Bentley Rolls Royce to the real hotel room, penthouse away. Right? So you're like, hey, effective marketing, we bought it. We bought it. We believed it. You'll defend it. You'll talk about it. You'll argue it with people. You'll comment. You'll do all this stuff. You bought it. Right? You're like, it works. So think about this with your companies. Like, hey, what are they using the right kind of psych hats to create a desire, a need, or a want to make people buy more stuff? Right? To create a demand, not wait for a demand. You're like, I'm not waiting for people. I'm like, I'm actually making that come. Right? All right, any questions before we get out of here? Okay, sounds good. We'll kind of do this with each assignment. I'll designate time so that, groups are able to kind of keep up with everything. All right? Have a great weekend. I will see you next week.